Okay. Hey there, hi there, and ho there, everyone. Welcome to another episode. What'd you call me?
Hello there. Hello.
Welcome to another episode of Our Parents' Basement. Thanks so much for joining us on your Thursday evening or on your mobile device or on your podcast playing device. We are so happy to be with you once again. It's been a very busy week, a very hectic week, and Thursday is here. And we couldn't be happier about it. So yeah, let's get another show going. I am Philip, and I am joined by two wonderful companions tonight. The first is Jason, but I call him Turf. And Turf, how are you doing this evening?
Man, I'm living the dream. I'm happy. And I'll say this every week. I'm glad it's Thursday. I'm glad we get to sit down and we get to shoot the breeze, if you will.
Yeah.
Chew the fat.
Chew the fat. Okay, I like that. Usually I cut around the fat, but that's a good little term. I might use that from now on. So thanks for that, Turf.
Yeah, we're gonna sit around and we're gonna chew the fat.
Chew the fat. Very nice. I like it. And we also have Charles. And Charles, how are you doing this evening?
Doing all right, hanging in there.
Alrighty. You look like you're wearing a really nice, warm, snuggly sweater thing right now.
Yeah, little fleece, whatever thing.
I'm not sure how the weather is right now in Chicago and in Arkansas, but it is still chilly here in Nashville. So.
I'm in the basement. It's cool down there.
You're always cold.
It's what does Google say the temperature is outside right now? It's 55. Oh. It's nice. It's shorts
nicer.
Weather.
It's still not.
It's shorts weather, but you still wear a hoodie.
It's shorts weather in Chicago, maybe, but it's not shorts weather here.
It's shorts weather in Chicago, but you wear a hoodie still.
I'm just ready for spring to sprung. Spring needs a spring. You know what I mean?
There you go.
I want the weather to be warmer again. So I did not move south for this crap. But Charles, glad to have you as well. So tonight on Our Parents' Basement, we're going to do something a little bit differently. Now, we kind of had an episode like this before, maybe, oh geez, we're already on our 98th episode, I think. So
we're almost at 100. Wow.
Yeah, so this episode of ours happened a long time ago, but we're going to do it again because new developments have occurred. As you all know, we are gamers first and foremost, but there's more to us than just, sitting in front of the television on the couch with a controller in our hands and saving the world. We enjoy other activities. In fact, just last week, Turf was talking about a little bit of a DIY project that he was
I think we should talk about things we enjoy. I thought I was going to enjoy that. I enjoy planning it.
Yeah.
When it actually rubber hits the road and you really got to start doing it, I would enjoy it if I was good at it, I think. And I keep thinking that I want to be good at it, but man, I'm not. I'm just not a handy guy. I wish I was, but it's just not. I don't have the eye for it. I can't. My head's crooked or something. I can't line up in a straight line. Yeah, I've been working on an outbuilding, a little, I hate the word man cave. Because I feel like.
Because that's too immature.
Too manly.
No, it's not that it's too manly. It's that it implies that I don't have command of my house. I'm the king of this castle, damn it. So I don't.
And he's a queen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
There you go.
So instead of calling this thing a man cave, we're going to call it a Bob. It's the Bob. That's a little an acronym for you. That's the big old building.
There you go. I like that. I can get with that.
It was the Bab for a minute, but we needed to make it family friendly. So the big old building.
Call it the B3, the big butt building.
Yeah, it doesn't have the same ring to it.
So, I like that. But
I bought a Amish style barn. I don't know if you've seen those. They sell them off everywhere. It's actually for Mennonites, so it's a Mennonite building. They use power tools and things, and it's not all made by, or it's made by hand, but with power tools, not with like a lathe or. Anyways, so I've built this thing. I've wired it, insulated it, put sheetrock up. I'm working on flooring. All I lack is finishing the flooring and window trim, door trim, and baseboards. So I'm hoping this weekend I get done. Whew.
Well, I hope so too. I think I'm most excited about. Well, obviously, I want to see the pictures of the finished, the finished product. But I think I'm more excited about the level of stress you'll no longer have towering over you.
Yeah, it's been a headache, and it's not as much stress as it is just like doing it. I'm not terribly stressed about it because, well, it's not really that big a deal. You know what I mean? If it's not perfect, I'm okay with that. It's just when I'm out there laboring and doing it every evening and you don't get a break, you just kind of go, fuck, fuck, somebody just come do this for me. I would almost consider paying somebody if the price is right at this
Yeah, I was
point.
about to say, did you look at any estimates for the BOB?
No, I maybe. No, I didn't. I didn't seriously entertain it because I knew everybody would be more than what I wanted to pay.
Oh yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
going to finish the floors. I'm going to get that done, and the baseboard and trim should be a snap. And by
Awesome.
snap, I mean a new headache.
Could be a carpet or tile or
Laminate flooring, like that faux hardwood.
Oh yeah.
So
That works.
I was thinking you could have walls up there. You talk about how the mudding and all that. It's not all that good. You're gonna put cabinets up there. Who's gonna see all that shit?
That's very true. I'm gonna put every inch of everything I own is covered in shelves or arcade games.
Posters, put a big ass posters up there.
Prints.
Yeah.
I can cover everything up. There won't be an ounce of space. That's one of the reasons we were picking colors.
You got those knights statues?
I do. I have the big knights.
Knight statues.
The big suits of armor.
Suits of armor.
They're in my garage right now. They'll be moving over.
Put a bunch of standees there to block out all the uneven walls. No one's gonna notice. There's gonna be shit in front of it.
Nobody will notice when I get all.
You'll just know it's there.
My giant Nintendo cabinet, my bookshelves and everything in there, arcade cabinets and couch and TV and whatever else. It's gonna be, if there is anything, it'll be a distraction.
Life-size posters of Philip and I.
Well,
how'd you
have
get that?
to take down my life-size standee of Ted Danson from 3 Men and a Baby. So sorry guys,
Priorities, I understand. I was wondering how you got that in the first place. Well, Turf, I can't wait for it to be done for you.
I'm really ready. I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready to have a new space. It'll be more space in this room. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I got have y'all ever heard of a power line network adapter?
Nope.
Okay. I've heard of it, but I'm not.
Okay, well let me show in a nutshell what power line networks are. All right, so I don't have internet out there in this thing, and it's just a little too far from the router to get a reliable speed. And Windows 10 doesn't like to work with wireless networks for some reason.
Okay.
So what this thing is you plug one end into your router and then plug it into the wall, and then you plug the other end, like the receiver end, into another outlet wherever you want to use it. And it puts off a Wi-Fi signal, and it can be hardwired in internet. It uses the wiring in your home as network cable because electricity operates at a different wavelength. I guess, isn't it wavelength? Hertz? Frequency.
Yeah.
It operates at a different frequency than what information like internet would. So you can use both. It's like magic. You can use the wiring in your house as a network. And they claim if you are on the same circuit, if it's not going through a breaker box, you will get exact speeds. It will be negligible loss. Now I'm running through 2 breakers. Well, yeah, I'm running through 3 breakers actually. So I'm hoping for like 30% loss, and that'd be about it. But which is still, I have 400 meg internet. So I've got pretty decent internet. So if I only have 30% loss, I'll still be okay. So.
I just, wow, that's a lot of knowledge all at once.
Sorry. Yeah.
It's, I think Tesla kind of had that idea for his wireless electricity transfer.
I don't know about that.
Elon Musk?
No, Nikolai Tesla. The real Tesla.
Oh, okay.
Like he had this idea where he could build these transmitter towers where he would it would send electricity through the air, and you have these receivers, and you would receive the energy.
His was more theoretical because I don't know how you could do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's those little induction or not induction pads, but the things like you can set your phone on and it'll charge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I think the same kind of concept that the Nikola Tesla thing, except he was doing it over big distances instead of just laying something on there and it charging. Are you with me still? And I may be completely wrong on that.
I think Charles is more the
tech. Yeah. I want to get one of those wireless charging docks for my phone at some point.
The idea behind this stuff is that electricity operates on different frequency and it doesn't cause noise because your 110 electricity has a big frequency. It's making big waves in a picture, you can see. And then your information's doing this. So they rarely interfere with each other. Every time when those lines cross is when you get your losses.
Yeah, and you would cancel it out.
So many of these in between these that you don't miss anything. Make sense?
Yeah.
I think so. I think I got it. Physics lessons tonight on OPB. I love it.
That's a little bit what it is. It's, I guess, an electronics lesson.
Yeah.
I know I read up on it just trying to figure out how does this magic work? I mean, is it voodoo? Do I have to sacrifice a chicken? But it turns out you don't. It's actually just science. So I thought science. Yeah, I mean, there will be no headless goats. So that's good.
Right. Good to hear. Good to hear. Well, Charles, I know that you are a fan of cycling, but besides that, you have started something on the side as well recently.
Yeah,
which you actually enjoy.
Yeah, I'm a photo geek. I've been doing photo, Jesus Christ, my whole life. Got my first camera back in 1985, little Gumby and Pokey 110 camera, which I have on my desk. It's just been sitting here.
You still have your old for your very first camera still?
Right there. Little 110 camera with Gumby and Pokey on it.
Those who are listening audio only, he just showed us something really cool.
So does it work? Okay, 110 what?
110 film.
Is that what that stuff's called? It's like a little cartridge?
Yeah, a little teeny tiny plastic cartridge. Yeah.
It looks like the voicemail signal?
Yeah.
Or symbol? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to tell somebody what that was the other day, and all I could come up with was I kept going to call it 9mm, and I knew that wasn't right.
No, it's not a 9mm.
So what makes this film what's so special about this film? Or it's not very good?
No, it's small, it's teeny tiny. It's about the size of a 16mm motion picture frame, which is tiny.
Okay.
Where your 35mm neg is like this size. It's double the size of a 110. So you get better resolution, better quality images. You can enlarge it more. So that's what it's small. It was easy. Just pop it in the camera, boom, and go.
That's pretty neat.
35, you have to do a little bit more work at it. So
photography is another passion of yours.
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
I've got so many cameras. Right next to me, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 cameras in arm reach. No, 11 cameras in arm reach. No. 12 cameras in arm reach.
Jesus, man.
Well, here's 13. 13. Do I hear 13?
Yeah, got some down there, which I can't. Fuck it.
Again, audio only. He's showing us all his cameras.
Yeah, so I've got my fleet of OMs right next to me on top of my scanner. There's a pile of them right there.
So what do you need with all those cameras?
I could load different film in each camera. Have color in one, black and white in another, different speeds, different lenses. So
it'd be like a quick change type deal instead of having to
if I have one
change out film and plan ahead. You can take several cameras and decide, hey, I want to try a color shot here or a black and white shot here. Or okay, I'm with you.
Or you can have all the same type of film in all the cameras and just have different lenses on each one, so I don't have to change lenses. So I just go boom, boom, and just keep changing them around.
What do you carry those in?
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you store all this stuff?
I've got 4 camera bags on the floor right next to me.
Well, that explains half of it.
So
I know Jenny is big into it as you are because she has a huge camera.
That's how we meet. That's how we met. That's how we meet. That's how we met. She came into a camera shop, and then one thing led to another.
Bada bing, bada boom.
And romance was blossomed.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Snapshot of romance. I love it.
Yeah. So we share cameras. So we both got Leicas, which are it's like the Maserati of cameras.
It's not even the Cadillac; it's the Maserati.
Yeah. This is.
So that's what's it called, Leica?
Leica. This is my M4P.
And that works still, or is that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
See, it looks like a shit. It doesn't look like it'd be fancy, but apparently it's something.
Yeah, this is their lens is 90 f2 lens. This is. I could make a good chunk of change if I sell that.
What is the one that Jenny has? Is that Leica as well? That one that she brought to Louisville and.
She brought her Nikon D810.
Okay.
Big full frame digital SLR.
Yeah, that took some pictures.
Yeah, I've got one over there. I've got my her D7000, which she handed down to me when she got that D810. So,
Charles, I'm surprised you didn't kind of pursue a career in photography. I know, I'm sure people say National Geographic, but I'm sure there's other ones that you would have. Enjoyed.
It's not easy doing it. It's a pain in the butt to to get that job. That is the job to do, and that's not easily accessible. To get that National Geographic, do that photojournalism stuff.
Yeah, photojournalism.
I'd like to do that stuff, but it's so.
It's probably really competitive, and there's not a whole lot of jobs. I wouldn't think.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sometimes you have to be in the right place at the right time to get these shots. Mm-hmm. Stanley Foreman, Pulitzer winning photographer. He won it twice within a 5-year span, which doesn't happen too often.
Because of his being
photos.
in the right place, right time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
There's one called the Soiling of Old Glory, where I guess these really uber right-wing guys were protesting something. This guy's got an American flag, and he's trying to spear this black lawyer with it.
Oh wow!
So,
sounds intense.
This is in Boston, and another one he shot in Boston, the fire escape collapse, where it's fire departments rescuing these people from the fire escape, and then fire escape failed.
And he got a shot of it.
He got a shot, the whole sequence of, firefight. He grabbed on the ladder, luckily, but unluckily, people he's trying to save, they fell 4 or 5 stories. So
crazy. That's so weird to have that moment of history captured.
It's caught, yeah. There's such powerful photos, just be there to capture that stuff. It's it takes a lot to be a photojournalist. You just got to keep shooting.
Mm-hmm. And to get into this career, you have to have is it basically luck at this point? You need that lucky shot.
A lot of it's luck, yeah, and being in the right space, know how to compose a photo, get the framing down.
Well, I mean, it would be kind of akin to making it in the music business or in Hollywood or something like that.
Yeah,
all these people definitely have skill, but there's a billion people that have this skill. It's just a handful that get lucky. And they get that break.
Yeah,
so it's a break.
It's people always come to that camera. So will this camera make me have me take a better picture? No, can't take a better picture now. No. Well, no, it's not. It's not. You got to know how to compose a photo, exposure, framing, all that is how you get a good photo. A really talented photographer take an excellent picture of anything. Even
an iPhone or a Droid.
iPhone, yeah, 110 camera, yeah. So,
how do you feel about iPhones and camera phone? I guess camera phones in general.
They are nice, but it's
not the same, huh?
It's one thing, the Sun-Times, Chicago Sun-Times, major newspaper, about 6-7 years ago, they laid off their entire photo staff and gave all their reporters iPhones. Take a picture of the iPhone. Take a picture of the iPhone. They laid off Pulitzer Prize winning photographers. They laid off John White, who won the Pulitzer Prize.
Because of iPhones and
because iPhones, they don't want to pay. Don't want to pay the photo staff.
Well, I mean, in reality, that's a dying business anyways. They needed to cut cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody buys newspapers.
True, but it's just getting the right photo at the right time. Could really get the story across.
What about
I absolutely agree with you.
Like that in the Ukraine with that assassination there, of the prime minister there.
the what?
The assassination in the Ukraine. The guy. This last summer.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The guy who's shooting, he's just got the gun just pointing up in the air. That shot was. I'm like,
remember that.
That is an awesome shot. It's a tragic event, but that shot, I'm like, wow. That is the shot right there.
I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah. What about like the other thing I can think of would be like fashion photography. Would you try for that, or does it seem too shallow for you?
I don't know about fashion.
Jeff, what are you doing?
I don't know. I was doing my
It's
little
doing
turn on the
fashion.
catwalk.
We do fashion.
I was trying to give you something to strut to, man.
It is fashion. It's a whole nother level. You have to get it just right. Make sure your lighting's perfect. That's a whole another step of photography. If you shoot doing street photography, photojournalism, you work with what you got.
Yeah.
Fashion, you have to have your lighting set up.
I'm gonna ask something. And this is just because I'm a dumbass. So I'm gonna preface it with that. All right. If you're doing street photography or like an event or something like that, would it not just make sense to just take a shitload of pictures and try to find the one that works?
Well, digital, yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, digital, absolutely.
Digital, you could just boom, 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 boom. Shoot.
Just throw off 1,000 and then
That's a buzzword.
Yeah, and hopefully you get one. Yeah, I
do
do
a numbers
game
at that point, right?
Yeah, I do a lot of film where you gotta stop, slow down, and think. Do you want to take that shot? Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been following my Instagram at all, but
You had Instagram.
I do. Yeah.
What Instagram is that, Charles?
Izaki Photo. Easy. AKI F8. No.
Easy. AKI.
Easy. AKI Izaki Photo. PHOTO.
So if I wanted to find you on Instagram, I would go to @EZAKIPHOTO.
That's it.
And find Izaki Photo.
All right.
Look at that plug. That was an intense plug.
Thank you. Another thing, I've told you this guys before, since I've been in photo for long, I just started teaching classes in it.
Oh, tell us about that.
What is it? Chicago Photography Academy. They teach, digitals are big. They're bread and butter there, but, the guy who runs it, he want to do some, just some basic black and white. So like really quick, 1 day a week for 4 weeks, black and white, how to process film, how to do a print and all that. So that's what I've been doing. Tomorrow will be the third class I've taught. So we're going to do some printing in the darkroom.
So you're teaching people how to go out with film, frame up their picture or whatever you're going to call it. I guess you set up your picture. And then you're going to teach them how to process the film. You say process, you're going to go in the dark room and do the thing with the tongs and or tweezers or whatever they are.
Yeah. I'm not going too much into framing. I'm just saying, here, go out, shoot some film. We're going to process these negs. We're going to print these negs. Then boom. Go from that. Yeah. So
that's pretty impressive.
It's relatively easy processing film. Just develop, stop, fix. That's all you need to know.
Don't turn the lights on.
Don't turn the lights on. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna ask another dumb question just because I'm a dummy. Walk me through the process of how to process film. I've got my negative, I've taken my shot, and I think it's gonna turn out great.
Okay.
Really, I have no idea because it's film, and I'm just hoping for the best.
Okay.
So I take it to the dark room. I get my negative out or my film out. What do I do next?
You have already processed your film, I'm guessing.
Well, I don't know. I just unwound it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, you wind your film up in the can.
Right.
Go in a dark room, complete dark room, no safe light. Crack the canister open. There's there's little bottle can openers you use or church keys.
Okay, what's a safe light?
Safe light is when you're printing.
Is it that red light?
Red light or amber light. Typically, it's...
So you get in a completely dark room. You can't see what's going on. What do you? I mean,
you got all your reels and your tank all laid out. You know where they are. Then you just pop it on the reel it up, pop them in the tank, close the tank up. Then you can go out in the light. Then you pop your developer in.
What's a
And
developer?
That's what develops the negative. That develops the image on the neg. There's like different developers like D76, Ilfosol 3, Ilfotech DDX.
So is the developer like the tray of liquid that they're using in the movie?
Yes, but for when you're doing your film, you put the developer in your tank first. Then you put it in, depending on your film speed and your film type and the type of developer. You develop it for anywhere from 5 minutes to up to an hour, depending on how you're doing it.
Okay, so I get it. I crack my little can open.
Mm-hmm.
I use the can opener. I crack this thing open, and then I reel it up. This is all in the dark.
Yep.
Into some other kind of can.
Yep.
Okay, and then I can turn my light on.
Yep. Got your lid on.
I got this thing. It's sealed up like a dolphin's butt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tight.
Yeah.
So we got this thing, and then we're gonna put it. How do I get from the film? What makes it go from the film, from the negative to the photo paper?
Okay, so you do your develop, stop, fix, then film's dried, you cut it. You got your enlarger, okay?
Okay.
You put your negative in a negative carrier in there, put it in there. Light shines through the tops, shines through the negative, goes through another lens, which goes onto your baseboard, focus it, put your paper, your printing paper in there, okay?
Okay.
You know, then you get your, usually you do a test strip, so you do five seconds, test of a beautiful piece of cardboard, you slide it across, so you go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, you get up to 30 seconds on there.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that. Running for your developer in the tray, your stop bath, which is acetic acid. Then you put in your fix, which is pretty much sodium thiosulfate. So once it's in the fix,
Greek, man.
So once it's out in the fix, you put it in your wash. Then you can look at your times. You get your right time. Then you expose your whole print for that amount of time. Then pretty much same develop, stop, fix, wash, and you got your print. That's the abbreviated way.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
There's more steps too. Sometimes you have to dodge and burn, which there's places on the
sounds
negative.
like a video game thing.
Yeah, you could go onto the print and you want to burn in, which is what expose certain areas get more light. So you take a little piece of cardboard that has a hole in it, and you just take your thing and just kind of like work that area so you get more light going to that area, so that details pop up more.
That's an art form, man.
And if there's if it's too much light, you could dodge it. Where you have a little stick where you just have a little piece of cardboard that's covered in black tapes. You just kind of block the light from going there, so you're stopping light from hitting that area.
So there's more. There's you can set up a photo. You can whatever you do. You're gonna click this thing and you're gonna capture this moment. There's a whole nother level, a whole nother realm of artistry to get this thing from the camera onto paper.
Yeah. Yep. Then
I did not know that.
Now I see why people prefer digital, because it seems like a lot simpler.
It's very relaxing going in a darkroom. I've gone in darkroom, done prints, and I've just completely lost track of time. I'll go in there like at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, it's 11 o'clock.
Wow.
At night, I'm like shit.
I'd have been looking for a sandwich.
Yeah.
But when you do what you love, I mean.
Does that red light make things look weird when you come out?
No.
I was wondering about that.
I'm used to it.
You've been in there for 8 hours and you're like, oh man, my eyes are just burning. You come out and you hadn't been looking at anything but a red tint, and you come out and the world's pink.
I don't notice it. I guess I'm so used to it, I don't notice it. But it's fun.
Maybe that was another idiot question.
I don't know. I don't notice it myself.
I think it'd be cool to see.
But
absolutely, it'd be cool to see.
And all that stuff you only use a safe light for black and white processing in the paper in the darkroom.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing color printing, there is no safe light. That's all in the darkness.
Wow.
If you don't have a light, how can you look at see if it's got enough exposure or what your test strip and all that?
Well, after you go for your process, once you're in the fix for about 3 minutes,
mm-hmm.
you could pop the light back on.
I'd fall asleep.
It's fun. You ever come up here? I'll show you how to do it.
I'd be interested in seeing it.
I'm scared of the dark.
It's not that bad.
Will you hold me?
I will hold you.
Oh,
I got to my first time doing loading film in Photo One at Columbia College. You know, I already knew how to do this stuff, how to load film.
Mm-hmm.
I was in there with this girl I had a crush on in the class, but
How you doing?
I had to help her load her stuff. I already knew how to do all
Like
this
the size of my Polaroid. I got nothing. I can't think of a catch. What do you catch? Pickup line for that?
We don't need a safe light, baby.
There.
I'm safe enough.
What's your safe light?
OC Amber. OC Amber. Which is
Sorry, did we go too far?
Which OC Amber is the correct safe light for current black and white printing paper.
Oh, that's good to know.
Red safe light is technically for ortho film, so that's a whole nother.
So movies lied to me for years.
Yeah, that's
what I'm gathering is that movies just lied to me.
Yeah.
Wow, Charles, that is really, really neat. How long are you gonna keep teaching?
For as long as I can, you know.
Cool. Do you think this will be your? Is this something you can make a living off of? Do you think, or
if I teach every day, yeah.
Man,
if I
this
teach,
might be your calling.
If I teach 2 classes a week, I probably could. They're like it's 7 to 10 is my class. So
that's really cool though that you've found a way to turn your passion into a little bit of a paycheck.
Yeah, I would have to do more than 2 classes a week.
Still.
Are you doing he's doing the math now. As
But if I do 3 classes a week,
if I could do this,
yeah,
I can wait. Yeah.
Carry the 2, and how you doing right there?
All right,
4 classes a week. We're in.
Which is still, I don't think that's bad. You know,
it's fun. I don't know. 3. I'm still doing math here.
So
that's all right, man. That's for another time.
So yeah.
So I don't know. I'm gonna, I guess, interrupt.
It's all good.
So Philip, you've
yes,
stumbled into something new and different and intriguing to me.
Intriguing.
That
really?
We were talking about you ventured outside your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
You ventured out of the world of video games and you dabbled into the extreme world of nerdery. Like parts of nerddom that scare me.
Scare you? Really?
I'm terrified. You got into tabletop.
Yes, yes, I did.
Pen and paper. I don't know the correct term.
Yeah, I think tabletop's appropriate. You think Dungeons and Dragons, which is what I'm playing, people usually go tabletop, but pen and paper is fine. I mean, I have my character sheets and whatnot right here and everything. I did not write these. The DM or Dungeon Master, Dungeon Master, which sounds kinky, I know. He wrote all these and whatnot. But
Dungeon Master wrote this.
So what had happened was we were all at dinner one night and the guy, one of my friends said, "Hey, you interested in playing Dungeons and Dragons?" I'm like, maybe. I haven't played since high school, so I'm a little rusty. And he said, "That's okay. I just want to get some friends together and get a campaign going. It's kind of an excuse just to get together and maybe drink a little wine and beer and, pig out on junk food and pizza, but also nerd it up a bit." And I was like, you know what? I haven't played in many years, but I still want to give it a shot. So I thought of a character. I told him I want to play as a human wizard. He rolled stats for me. He got all my starting spells and cantrips and everything. And we played 2 chapters so far. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. The DM, he is making sure that everyone is having a good time. If you play tabletop, you have to have a DM that makes sure everyone is enjoying themselves. So if they're like completely new to the whole thing, like some of the folks in our campaign are, or they have some experience like myself, as long as everyone's having fun, then it's a good time.
All right,
So,
you're gonna have to
yeah.
have to back up and explain exactly. So the DM, the
Mhm.
dungeon master, he's the cat that's running this thing.
Kind of. So he'll get some storybooks or some manuals. He'll have all these things, and so he'll go through maybe like a starter manual and say, okay, so this is what your quest is. I'm giving you a very, very abridged version.
So he's getting them out of a book. He's not writing the quest, right?
Right. He's not writing the main story, but we can embellish a bit. Like, okay, so we're going on a quest for this guy named such and such, and then we all jump in and say, well, yeah, such and such has our favorite bottle of wine, so we have to find him. Such and such has been captured by goblins, and then we kind of play off each other. Have the goblins drink? Did the goblins drink our wine? And the main thing is we got to find and save this dude, but along the way we develop a story about him being a sommelier and having the best grapes ever, and I guess we're a party of lushes, so we need to get that wine back, and it just really gets your imagination going because you can't really like do stuff like this in a video game. I mean, sure, there's that Lord of the Rings setting and whatnot, but this is our quest. I mean, this is unique for us.
Okay, so it's kind of like improv, kind of.
There's a bit of improv.
So you come with the stories. That's your improv right there. So it's like yes ending.
The stories are already kind of. The stories are already written. Like, okay, so we're starting here in this village, meeting at this pub, looking for this guy.
Okay.
Well, our improv comes in with the why.
Okay, so he's like. He got kidnapped because he stole Turf's Ninja Turtles game.
There you go. He got kidnapped, and now we got to find him.
Stabbed.
Yeah, you would have rolled some dice on him. So then we'll go and find him. So it's a lot of what's the word? I guess that is a good word for it, improv. But obviously there's like numbers and a little bit of math involved.
So
okay, so if you're go ahead, Charles. I'm sorry.
You probably had to say. So when you rolled the 12-sided die, you get like a number 5. What is that? What do you have to do then?
That depends on what you're trying to do. So usually, if you want to fight something, if you're in a battle,
okay,
here's what you'll do is roll a d20, so a 20-sided die.
Okay.
The higher the number, the sooner you get to go. Take your turn. Then, when it is your turn, you will say, okay, I want to, let's see, I have my spell list right here. I want to cast, okay, I want to cast Firebolt on the enemy. So first thing I do is take the D20 die and roll for that. If it's above a certain number, then your attack will hit. If it's lower, then you miss.
Okay, so
you waste your turn.
So rolling the different dice give you what if you hit or you don't hit, or how much your hit is.
You got the first part right. It shows you if you will hit or not. So then if you do hit, you roll again with a different dice. Okay. In this case, Firebolt is a 1d10, so I'd roll the 10-sided dice. Okay. The higher the number, the better the attack.
Okay. Hold on. How many dice are in this thing?
There is a fair amount. I know there's like the regular like 6-sided and the D20. Obviously, there's a 4, an 8, 10. I think there's a 16, but yeah, there's a fair amount of die.
So this cat, the dungeon master, your buddy, helped you out, set your dude up, and so you're gonna throw Firebolt. That's you roll the 1d10 die, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, that's the 10-sided dice die. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then say if you want to cast, I don't know, lightning fart. So we're gonna cast lightning fart, and it's a 2. You might have where you roll 2 6-sided dice.
I'm not sure. It's been a long time since
thinking like different spells or different attacks or different whatever you were gonna roll. It's gonna tell you which die to roll.
Yeah, it'll tell you, and eventually, the more you play, you'll start to you'll memorize what you do.
And you can't, you're not making up your own spell, so you can't really have thunder fart or lightning fart, whatever I said.
Right.
It's coming out of the book.
Or there's a flaming cat.
And this is, like I said, complete ignorance. I'm not trying to make fun of it or anything.
With Firebolt, you can say if you have a good DM, he'll say, yes, your fireball started to morph into a cat and scratch the goblin's eyes out. So,
okay.
yeah.
So there is a lot of, as I said, still is a lot of improv in it, but you still got your set guidelines. Like, there are rules improv, but
yeah.
So it's pretty much it's improv. Pretty much.
Improv with statistical charts and some and a lot of dice rolling.
Okay.
Because with that Firebolt spell, you also have to take into account, like my character is a wizard, and he has a +4 intelligence. So really high attack can knock out an enemy instantly because you add your intelligence to it. And there's tons of stats. There's like perception, persuasion, sleight of hand, stealth, survival. Like there's a lot of little things. It's all on your chart, though. You don't have to memorize any of this.
Okay. All right. Well, the OG D&D people say, "Oh, we don't memorize that." I know all this stuff by heart.
Well, when I played in high school, like I was like, I have no idea what's going on. I kind of jumped into a campaign in the middle, so they said, "Here, just be this person, and we'll recommend what you do." And I was like, "This is very fun." But when you're with the right group of people, and you have a good DM who knows what they're doing and who knows how to set a good stage and make sure everyone's enjoying themselves, then it's a blast.
Okay.
So we didn't play this week because one of our friends he's on vacation, so we couldn't get together. But so far, it's been a blast. I've had so much fun.
How long would a campaign last?
I guess it depends on how long the story, the skeleton of the story is written, and I guess also how long it takes for you to accomplish your goals.
So, is it kind of like a cricket match? It could go on for days. And
oh yeah, absolutely.
No, this is Dungeons and Dragons. There's no snatches.
There's so someone has to win, but
yeah, like if you during the fights, the DM plays the role of the monsters and he'll roll for them.
Okay.
And if you don't, and your characters can get knocked out, but there's a way to bring them back. There's this huge, I don't want to say huge, there's this fairly hefty sized manual that has all the rules, and it's actually a pretty informative read that really breaks everything down simplistically.
So
go ahead.
Here's I think how could then say there's one monster left and one fighter left. They're fighting each other. Can for the roll of the dice, I don't know, whatever. Can they completely kill both one another?
No, because it's kind of like a turn by turn thing. At the start of a fight, you roll for initiative.
Okay.
And then person A, person B, person C, then the monster, or it depends on how you roll. It's all in the die.
Okay, so. but if you're fighting, can you roll and your roll doesn't work and the attack backfires on you? Can that happen?
I'm not sure. There might be some spells that would cause that.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have a spell called Blade Ward.
Okay.
But that just prevents a lot of damage. So if I were to cast Blade Ward on someone, they would roll a defense. They would do a defense roll to lower damage. So there's things like that. I have a spell called Charm, and so I can basically charm the person. I know, ding, charm the DM's monster and have him work for me. So there's a lot it's a lot more than you think. It's been so much fun so far. I'm surprised how much fun.
A lot of creativity involved in it, especially on the DM's part, on the dungeon master's part. If he's a creative guy, if he's a storyteller, then I can see where you could have a lot of fun with that. It could be intriguing.
He'll change his voice around. If we're in a shop and and it says, if it says in this book, the shopkeeper's name is Vivian, he'll change his voice to sound effeminate. It's pretty funny, or like a tranny, but either way, it's very.
Hello, I'm Vivian.
It's very entertaining, and he'll really get into character, and two of the people in our campaign, this is the first time they've ever done this, and they're having a great time too. Like we have a paladin, 2 wizards, and a rogue, and the party's well varied. It's really cool. I really enjoy it.
How do you become the DM? Does it rotate, or do you have to? Is there like a hierarchy? You have to have like seniority to be a DM.
I think you just have to know the game, and you have to get people who want to play with you as the DM.
Okay, so if you wanted to, if the 3 of us want to do it, you could be the DM for us.
Yeah, after I polished up a bit.
Or, if I start reading up, got the books, I could be the DM.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and we would make characters and that whole thing. And, I mean, it really is. It's a game, and you want to have fun.
Yeah.
So if you can allow us to have some sort of fun, then I think that's a successful D&D campaign.
Okay. But, like, there are set rules, but how flexible are the rules?
There are set rules. Like, if you roll... Go ahead.
Is it like Monopoly where you could, like, bend the rules and make your own house rules?
I think it just depends on the DM.
Okay.
Like, if I was rolling my 20-sided die, and I got an 8, and I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna miss. He'd be like, well, I'll give it to you. It just depends on the situation. Now there are some instances where like it's there's a giant demon, and you want to try to persuade him to join your party. He'd be like, okay, roll a d20. Anything less than a 19 wouldn't cut it. I mean, there's obviously some regulations involved, but
yeah.
But if he rolled that 19 or 20, then he'd work with it. So
okay, so like, or he could say, if you want this demon, he's pretty lax. You roll a 6 or higher, he's good.
It might be time to fight. Oh, if you're saying this as the DM, is that what you're saying? Then yeah.
Yeah, DM's like, if you roll only a 6, then you're good.
Yeah. Could he say that? I don't see why he wouldn't. I mean,
he's telling the story, so
yeah. So he can be a hard essay if you got to roll a 6 exactly.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one who's guiding this narrative.
Yeah. So or anything higher than a 1, you're good. If you roll a 1, no.
Yeah. So cool. Yep. I'm not sure if any of you have ever played tabletop, but I think it's worth a try at least once, just to
Monopoly.
Well, yeah, not like a board game, but
I don't know. Maybe I could. It seems kind of interesting to me, but I don't even have time to play an electronic version.
Yeah. So like you said, it was scary to you, Ter. Why do you think it sounds scary?
Let's see, because it's over my head.
Okay.
Because
like there's a barrier to entry. There's you would have to know too much to get started.
Nope.
If I sat down with some seasoned D&D players, a seasoned dungeon master and this rogue group of scallywags, and it's like he doesn't even know what a D20 is.
That won't play with him either.
That's what it seems like. There's so much to it that it would take me forever to learn it. And there's just kind of a barrier to entry.
Well, I mean, the manuals they're well written. I mean, there's tons of pretty pictures as well. So you can look at those. If none of this works out, at least there's pretty artwork. But the DM, if they are a good DM, they will explain everything to you. They will they won't recommend what you should do, but they'll.
They kind of like.
If you have questions, they'll help you with it.
If you start saying one thing, they're like, but they kind of like, maybe not.
Maybe like.
Are you sure you want to cast Fireball here because this is a fire demon?
So, that one video that kind of like little weird viral videos, these kids in the woods. Are they live role playing Dungeons and Dragons there? I think there's Fireball.
That's that LARP stuff. That live action. Yeah, that's another level of nerdiness.
I did that once or twice in high school as well too, but
that's a shocker.
Yeah, isn't it though? Can you imagine? But it depends on it really all depends on the company you keep. I mean, if you're with your good friends, then have at it. Act silly and use that imagination. I mean, it's fun to do the battles in Dungeons and Dragons are fun because I can visualize all the goings on, and I just they're cool. So
that's outside my realm. I've never sat in on one. I've never witnessed it in person. The only thing, I've been in a few I've stumbled into some game shops that I thought were video game stores, and they just had giant sets or giant landscapes, model landscapes of miniatures for these tabletop games, and they scare me.
There is a tabletop place here called Dice Dojo, and if they have a good game going, they will stay open for that game to finish.
Wow.
They don't say, "Oh, nope, we're closed. You guys got to go." They'll stay up to 1 o'clock in the morning so this game could finish.
Yeah, we played twice so far, and both have lasted about maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours, which I know sounds long, but they went by really quickly.
Well, if you're just hanging out doing something, an hour and a half, 2 hours is nothing.
And in fact, the last time we played, we were in their they live in an apartment, and we were in this common area, I guess you can call it. They have pool table, or not pool table, a workout room and access to a gym and things like that, kitchen. So we were playing in this. So a lot of other apartment residents were passing through. One guy came up to us and he was like, "Are you guys gaming?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh man, I love Dungeons and Dragons." And he gave one of our friends who was a resident there his contact info, so he might join us next time. So cool. It's just you never know who you'll. Don't be afraid to wear your nerd badge in public.
It's God, I wear my nerd badge. Oh, it's always every day at work at Central Camera. We had a very nerdy conversation earlier today.
About cameras?
About processing.
Even better.
It was I developed this old tech fan, which is I got a roll right here, Kodak tech fan, which they stopped making this long time. This expired in 2004. Still comes out good. It was in a freezer. I developed in this one developer ag for Rodinol. And I said, yeah, I did have 1 to 300 dilution. He's like, my coworker's like, what? 1 to 300? No way. How much did you put in there? I'm like, well, it's 1.5 milliliters, which is these are 0.05 ounces. He's like, they say you can't work it well. Rodinol about 4 ounces is a minimum you get a good working solution. I'm like, oh, I put sodium sulfite in there, and it came out fine. He's like Jesus. And those shots came out perfect.
Right over my head.
See, that's ultimate nerdy now. There.
For someone outside looking in, watching a D&D campaign, they'd be like, what the hell is this?
Why is this guy talking like a troll?
Yeah. Why is this guy talking like a tranny? Tranny shopkeeper. Oh, man. Yeah. But yeah, it's been fun. We didn't play this week. Hopefully next week we can get back into it. And yeah, that's what I've been up to lately. Sure. Outside of gaming, there's more to us than just, like I said, sitting in front of the screen and having at it. So.
But yeah, you guys should check out my my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram.
Well,
Zaki Photo.
Yeah, there'll be a link somewhere.
Speaking of Instagram, I think we are getting close to that time. And Turf, during your usual conclusion, be sure to plug Charles's Insta at least one last time.
Zaki Photo.
Yeah,
EZAKI Photo.
My last name Zaki Photo. Yeah.
Okay. Well, just gonna double check. Well, I'll tell you what, folks. If you've enjoyed this episode, this personal, close look episode of Our Parents' Basement, there are 97 other episodes you can check out right over there. Now, if you're listening to the audio only version of this podcast, which is where the gravy is, you can download us.
Gravy.
I don't know. Just go with it, man. The gold, the liquid gold, the gravy.
Texas
I mean,
tea.
really,
Black
who
gold.
who doesn't enjoy gravy on things? I mean, am I the only one? Come
No,
on.
absolutely not. Gravy's great.
I like a good brown gravy, a good grease gravy. Anyways,
I just like grease.
so yeah, I shushed you. All right.
Continue.
Download the audio only version of this podcast anywhere you can download a podcast. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeart Radio, SoundCloud, Spotify. You name it, we're there, brother. Just download these, take us with you to go, listen to us in the car. We have a lot of fun doing this, and occasionally we'll make you smile. So, and do that. Give us a thumbs up and a like on here so you don't ever miss when we go live. Or you can give us a subscribe on that iTunes so they just automatically come to your phone. That's really cool. So, if you want to interact with us, you can hit us up on facebook.com/OPB podcast, at OPB podcast on Twitter, at OPB podcast on Instagram, which Charles might post something there every now and then. If he's not posting, at EZAKI photo, Azaki photo, where you can catch all those cool black and whites. He's been putting them on Facebook too. I think that's a Zaki photo as well, or Zaki photography, one of the two.
It's something like that.
He's like, I don't know.
Dude's an artist. I'm not even going to lie to you folks. He is an artist. So we love to hear from y'all. We love all the feedback. Keep it coming. Tell a friend. And we're coming up on 100 episodes, so you never know what might happen for that. So we just got 99 next week, and then in 2 weeks, it'll be. So with that said, gentlemen, I'm going to bid you a fond farewell, bid you adieu, and say, arrivederci, baby.
Good night, everyone. Thanks for listening.
Au revoir.